All right, let's talk about something huge. I mean, it's one of the biggest questions you could ever ask. It sounds like something straight out of a movie, but believe me, the threat is very, very real. Can we actually stop a giant asteroid from wiping us out? Okay, so I want you to imagine something for a second. An asteroid, the size of a football stadium, is hurtling towards Earth. And the kicker? We only have 2 weeks to do something about it. So what do we do? Are we ready for this, or is it just, game over? I mean, the impact would be apocalyptic. We're talking about a fireball brighter than the sun, a shockwave traveling at 60 times the speed of sound. The destructive power, get this, it's equal to 4,000 of the bombs dropped on Hiroshima. That's entire cities just gone. Millions of people instantly. And look, I have to stress this. This is not a movie plot. This is a real deal scenario. Finding an asteroid with barely any warning, it's the exact kind of thing that keeps planetary defense experts up at night. They're working on this stuff right now. Don't believe me? Just look at some of the close calls we've had recently. Back in 2019, an asteroid the size of a 30-story building wasn't spotted until one day before it flew by. And when I say flew by, I mean it was closer than some of our own satellites. Then, more recently, an even bigger one showed up with just 13 days' notice. We've been incredibly lucky so far, but luck runs out. So you're probably thinking, why don't we just, push it? And that's a fair question. The problem is most of our current deflection ideas, things like lasers or little impactors, are super, super slow. A scientist put it perfectly with this analogy. Trying to deflect an asteroid with these methods is like trying to move a giant cargo ship by throwing potatoes at it. Yeah, technically it'll work if you have a few decades. We've only got a couple of weeks. And that, of course, brings us to all the solutions we've seen in the movies. You know the ones. But, well, it turns out Hollywood gets a lot of things wrong. We're about to see just how flawed those plans really are when you apply a little thing called physics. Okay, idea number one, the classic go-to. Let's just fire a nuke at it. Boom, head-on collision. It's simple, it's direct, it's powerful. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Well, as it turns out, a lot. See, these asteroids are moving insanely fast. We're talking 70,000 kilometers an hour. To put that in perspective, that's fast enough to cross the entire Atlantic Ocean in 5 minutes. At that speed, the asteroid literally just shreds the nuke into a million tiny pieces before it can even think about detonating. So, yeah, that's a fail. Okay, fine. Smart idea. What if we don't hit it directly? What if we detonate the nuke just before impact? A standoff explosion, a few meters from the surface. That's gotta work, right? Nope, wrong again. Here's the problem. Space is a vacuum, and in a vacuum, there's no air. No air means no shockwave. So all that incredible energy from the nuke, it mostly just radiates away into nothing. It might scorch the surface a bit, but that's about it. It's like, instead of potatoes, we've upgraded to hitting that cargo ship with a washing machine. It's a bigger thump, for sure, but the ship is still gonna plow right ahead. All right, last chance for Hollywood, the Armageddon plan. You know it, you love it. We land a team of heroes, they drill a super deep hole, and they plant the bomb inside the asteroid. This has to be it. This is the one that works. I wish I could say it was, but no. It's a physics nightmare. First off, trying to land on a small, spinning rock that's hurtling through space is, well, it's pretty much impossible with our current tech. But let's say we pull it off. Now you have to drill in microgravity. There's no weight pushing the drill down, so it's painfully, agonizingly slow. With only 2 weeks, there is just no way. So all the big, brute force ideas are out. Hollywood has failed us. It's time to get smarter. We need to stop thinking like we're in an action movie and start thinking, well, more like a lumberjack. And this is the lumberjack's axe. It's called a penetrator. Now, this thing isn't a bomb. It's basically a giant cosmic bullet. It's long, thin, super dense, made of tungsten, and it's designed to do one thing and one thing only: shatter things with pure, focused, kinetic energy. The whole idea behind it is actually really simple and elegant. Think about it. You wouldn't try to split a giant log by whacking it with a big, round boulder, right? No, you'd use an axe to focus all your force on one tiny point. The nuke is the boulder. Tons of energy, but it's spread out all over the place. The penetrator? That's the axe. All that energy, delivered right where it needs to go for maximum damage. And the mission plan is just brilliant. You launch a rocket to intercept the asteroid about a day before it would hit us. And here's the genius part. You don't fire the penetrator. You just release it. You just place it right in the asteroid's path. Then you sit back and watch as the asteroid does all the work, slamming into this stationary object at 70,000 kilometers an hour. The impact completely shatters it, turning a city killer into a harmless, beautiful meteor shower. Okay, so problem solved, right? For a city killer asteroid, yeah, we've got a plan. But what if the thing coming at us isn't the size of a stadium? What if it's the size of a mountain? What do we do when we're facing a genuine, honest-to-God planet killer? The difference in scale here is it's just hard to even wrap your head around. A city killer asteroid is a nightmare for sure, but a planet killer comet, that's an extinction-level event. We are talking about a cosmic object so massive that its impact would mean the end of civilization, the end of most life on this planet. Period. And the problem isn't just bigger, it's way more complicated. These planet-killer comets are often moving twice as fast. And just breaking it up isn't good enough anymore. The pieces would still be big enough to be continent killers. So now the goal isn't just to shatter it. We have to shatter it and push the debris cloud off course. And to do that, you have to get to it way, way earlier. We're talking an intercept way out by Mars. So, could we use the same penetrator plan? Well, sure, if you just want to use brute force. But the numbers are staggering. We'd need to launch literally hundreds of thousands of penetrators. To get all of those into space would require at least 24,000 launches of a super heavy rocket. So how many of those super heavy rockets does humanity have right now? 2. And they're not even really fully operational yet. Let that sink in. If we found a planet killer on its way right now, with only months to prepare, we'd be completely helpless. But what if there's one last idea on the table? Turns out, there is one plan. A final, brilliant, hybrid approach that combines the cleverness of our cosmic axe with just the right amount of that Hollywood brute force we talked about earlier. This, right here, could be humanity's final stand. Here's how it goes down. It's a single mission, a single ship. First, it fires 4 penetrators, one after another, at the exact same spot. It's like a cosmic machine gun, carving out a tunnel 100 meters deep into the comet's core. Then comes the final shot, a 5th penetrator, but this one's carrying a passenger, a massive 300 megaton nuke. It delivers it right to the bottom of that tunnel, so when the bomb goes off, it's not wasting its energy in the vacuum of space. Nope, it's contained deep inside, and it rips the entire planet killer apart from the inside out. Victory. And this is the thing that should really stick with you. The most important part of all of this. The technology to do this, it exists right now, today. We could build this defensive system. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's just a question of planning, of investment, of will. The plan is there, the blueprints are ready. So the real question we have to ask ourselves is, will we actually be ready when the time comes?